What's a fact that could save your life? Did you know that every single person on Earth has a unique tongue print, just like a fingerprint? It's called a lingual papillae pattern and it can serve as a distinctive, permanent identifier, like a human barcode. So if your life ever depends on it, just stick out your tongue and you'll be easily identifiable. It's amazing that something as simple as a tiny pattern on your tongue could be so important and potentially life-saving. So the next time you want to get out of a sticky situation, just stick out your tongue and let your unique pattern speak for itself. If you live where the winter gets cold and you are traveling by car, always bring extra clothes. Have candles in the car. Try to always know where you are. X200B. Always run from a street fight, no honor in winning and deadly if you lose. X200B. Basic rule of 3: you can survive 3 minutes without breathing asphyxiation, blood loss, 3 hours without shelter in an extreme environment exposure, 3 days without water dehydration, 3 weeks without food starvation. Priority: if you are traveling at high speeds in a car and the cars in front of you come to a sudden stop, you can always use the shoulder to slow down if need be. I know this might seem obvious, but I didn't realize it for quite some time. Also, when getting out of the shower or tub, I think it's always good to grab onto something. Once heard about a woman who died by cracking her head on the toilet after slipping when exiting the shower. Stay safe you all! If you're ever driving on slick roads and the rear end of your car begins to slide, turn your wheels to the direction that your car is skidding. Gently tap on the brakes to gradually slow the car down. Don't try to correct it. You'll just end up losing more control and probably end up crashing. You'll just have to wait until your car either corrects itself, stops on its own, or hits something once you've slowed down. If you've gone 2.5 or more days without water, and you have to choose between drinking water without any way to sanitize it or not drinking water, drink the water. If you don't, you'll definitely die soon. Most of the diseases you can get from bad water take a couple days to set in, which gives you more time to find help. I was almost a year getting my cancer diagnosed. And I pay the price for that every day in pain and very low energy because I will be on chemo forever. A reasonable diagnosis time and I probably wouldn't be suffering as I am now. It is so crazy hard to get a diagnosis these days. It is heartbreaking actually. Signs of a stroke: fast, face drooping, arm weakness, speech slurred. Time to go to the hospital. Speed of response makes the difference between sometimes walks a little funny when tired and bedbound lump. If you know old people, you need to know how to spot a stroke. If you get caught in a rip current, don't fight it. It won't pull you under. People die because they panic, fight it, and get tired and then drown. Just let it take you out, and when you can, swim parallel to the shore out of the rip and then diagonally back to shore. Every air outbeat it uses oxygen. If you are very ill or having trouble getting enough air, your racing heartbeat just makes it worse. Practice shallow breathing and even breathing when you exercise so that in an emergency your stress level doesn't end up suffocating you. If you are under 5 foot 5 inches and drive a car, keep a knife strapped to the side of your seat. That way if you get in a car accident you can deflate the airbag with the knife, as you may not have enough weight to have the airbag deflate. Never walk, ski, snowboard near trees when there is heavy snow. There is something called a tree well that sometimes forms under trees where if you fall and you will become impacted by snow, often upside down, and suffocate to death. If your kid gets kidnapped, don't teach them to say help. Teach them to say something like, "Who the fuck are you? You're not my fucking dad, fuck you." That's gonna turn a lot more heads and get you actual help a lot quicker. And flammable does not mean non-flammable. It means it's something that could catch on fire that you don't want to catch on fire. Tank of CO2 non-flammable. Tank of propane flammable. Tank of oxygen inflammable. If you're ever stranded in the wilderness without food, just remember, mushrooms are like playing Russian roulette with a salad. Same with water, try to filter it numerous times with a cloth or something clean. In regards to coral v milk snakes, red touches yellow, kill a fellow. Red touches black, you're okay, Jack. Also, when in the wilderness, carry a whistle. It's louder, and takes less energy than yelling for help. Wearing the seat belt in a car. I was a passenger in a car that was moving at 55 miles per hour along a very winding road. The car swerved off the road and hit a tree. Wearing the seat belt saved my life. Elephants can outrun you. Elephants can outswim you. Elephants can throw objects at you. Elephants do not think you are cute. Elephants are very emotional. Elephants remember. I live in Canada, this only applies to cold climates. They are not dead until they are warm and dead. There are many cases where somebody got stuck outside and froze, then doctor revived them. CPR requires a flat surface. When Michael Jackson died, it was mentioned on the news that someone tried CPR with him on his bed. My mom said, "You're just pushing the mattress up and down. Be aware of your surroundings at all times, know where the exits are, etc. And remember, in case of a shooting in a public or workplace, can't run, can't hide, fight back. Instead of choking yourself while you're masturbating, just hold your breath as you're coming. No need to tie a rope around your neck and swing from the door. You're welcome." Kissing face. COVID-19 vaccine prevents people who receive it from dying from COVID-19 and transmitting the disease to other people with weaker immune systems from dying from COVID-19. If you're having chest pains and believe you may be having a heart attack, coughing violently can help shock your heart at least enough to get an ambulance to you. When bitten by a snake, try and stop circulation around the bite to slow down the effects of venom. If bitten in the face, don't use the neck to cut off circulation. If a concert hall, venue or building has an emergency or fire, don't go to the front. There are back doors, you have a better chance. I watch a lot of Mr. Ballin. Choking is silent. If they're coughing, they're not actually choking. If someone goes silent and starts pointing to their neck, start the Heimlich maneuver. Cyanide has an almond-esque scent taste. Not everyone can detect it from what I understand, but it's good to keep in mind, even if the issue never arises. 30 and 2 compressions to breaths for adults, or 15 and 2 for infants. It might not save your own life to know that, but it could save someone's life. Baking soda will extinguish a fire, even grease and electrical fires. You should always keep a box of it nearby when you're cooking and grilling. Getting a second or even third opinion. You know yourself better than they do. If you don't get answers, please keep looking. Please don't settle. The beeps from your ceiling might be a smoke detector's battery going out. They're typically 9V, and should be replaced as soon as possible. If you are getting chased by bees, don't try to get underwater to escape them. The bees will simply wait for you to emerge from the water. Armed robbery is against the law, so if anyone ever holds you at gunpoint, remind them of this and I am sure they will simply move along. How to do the Heimlich maneuver. I saved my mom's life. See, as me here to say that, saw someone beat me to it, but it's worth repeating. If you vote for numbskulls who oppose universal health care, you and your loved ones are more likely to die from treatable conditions. Chest compressions work best if you do it to the beat of the song Staying Alive or the Darth Vader theme The Imperial March. If you're at the beach and the water recedes suddenly, run and get to the highest ground you can find. A tsunami is on the way. If you get bit by a wild animal, get yourself to the hospital ASAP and tell them that. You don't want rabies to set in. You don't need to come out. In fact, if you are uncertain you will be supported accepted, please don't come out. Powdered coal's porous composition absorbs most poisons and neutralizes them. Doesn't work for acids. If your clothing ever catches on fire, stop, drop and roll, cover your face to smother the fire. If you are driving faster, and a deer runs out in front of you, don't quickly swerve to miss it. Knowing that the symptoms of a heart attack are often very different for women compared to men. Use the prongs of your car seat headrest to break the window if your car ever becomes submerged. Bring a lot of water, if you head into the desert. Like way more than you think you need. Just because someone rings your doorbell, doesn't mean you have an obligation to answer. You can drink your own urine, which is normally sterile for about the first 15 minutes. How to correctly use an AED can save yours, but sure as heck can save someone else's. If it feels wrong, it probably is. Trust that gut feeling, it's there for a reason. Do not look down the barrel of a weapon to see where the boom noise comes from. Don't trust hippies, furries, or people who say my pronouns are he, I, f, m, ch, y, c, m, c, f, n. Kangaroos can't hop backwards. If you see one coming at you, get behind him. If you are genuinely choking, do not drink something to try and get it down. Driving is not a race or game that you have to win. There are no prizes. You lose. Eat 20 times faster when wet versus being dry. Shed wet clothes. If you piss on a jellyfish, it won't sting you, or something like that. To concentrate while eating, it's easy something to stuck in your throat. Don't fuck W. Garrett. He's crazy as hell and would absolutely kill you. A fishy smell in your house could mean there's an electrical fire. You shouldn't mix bleach with other household cleaning products. Don't pour water on the grease fire, put baking soda on it instead. Don't just trust the doctors, get second opinions all the time. If you fall through the ice, the dark spot is the way out. Post-nuke, don't use a shampoo, head conditioner,